Today I want to read and react to the Week 9 AP Top 25 as we've had some moving and shaking in the top 10 and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on the step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today I want to run through, quickly read and react to the Week 9 AP Top 25 poll, in which I also need to tell all the folks that don't like the rankings, what the hell are you even doing here? Like, I love the rankings. I love talking about this stuff. I think that this is the sauce that is college football. We want to know which teams are the best in the country. We want to know why our team is not getting its just due. And we want to see who's getting more due than they should, aka overrated, which, kind of feels like the Big 12 most of the time, but, that's where my team is. So let's start with number 1, Clemson, who hangs on to the number 1 spot despite going down 18 to Boston College at home and really needing a spectacular display from true freshman quarterback DJ Uiagalelei and Travis Etienne to really get them that W. Now, Boston College played well in the first half, so much so that you could see why Phil Jurkovec was the, backup quarterback at Notre Dame. Jeff Hafley's out there doing a job. Clemson is still number 1 without Trevor Lawrence. And I think that most people are beginning to agree. I don't, but most people are agreeing that if Clemson were to lose to Notre Dame without Trevor Lawrence, that the college football playoff would give them the benefit of the doubt, especially if they win the ACC championship. Whereas Notre Dame would not get that same consideration because of recent history. I want to see how this game goes. This is the game of the week for me. I'm very excited to see what Uiagalelei can do under the lights, as it were, against Notre Dame, and whether or not Ian Book can shake this moniker as just, Mason Dick or Yankee Jake Fromm, as I like to call him. Alabama at number 2, stumped a mud hole in Mississippi State, walked it dry. Mac Jones continues his Heisman trot. If he didn't win it, it'd be Najee Harris, though Ohio State might have something to say about that a little bit later on. Mississippi State is looking like a paper tiger more and more, and that does not speak well to LSU, who got destroyed by the Auburn Tigers yesterday. It is not going well in Baton Rouge. Number 3, Ohio State. Great win against Penn State on the road, 38-25. Justin Fields continues to be just awesome at quarterback. I know that there are folks that think that Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 quarterback in the country and the number 1 overall pick, but I think that anybody that gets Justin Fields is going to be, is going to get the better player of the 2. I really think that. I think that Justin Fields is more accurate. I think that he's been through a little bit more adversity than Trevor Lawrence. I also believe in his athleticism because, that dude could play professional baseball right now if he wanted to. The Buckeyes are sitting pretty. All they got to worry about is whether or not the rest of the Big Ten can stay out of, the COVID, because Wisconsin is putting everybody's season at risk in the Big Ten with 22 positives. Notre Dame at number 4, so that means number 1 versus number 4 in primetime. Ian Book and Kyron Williams have trying to figure this thing out against Georgia Tech. They got a really good win. They got a very good win against, nobody else on the schedule, right? Because that's kind of the thing right now. We wanted to see this game even before we knew that COVID-19 was going to destroy everything we know and love, and they kept this game on the schedule. It's been November 7th this whole time, and now the Notre Dame that we have wanted to see in a conference finally gets that opportunity. We'll see if they take advantage of it. Be so Notre Dame to beat Clemson under these lights. Georgia at number 5. They beat a Kentucky team in a 14-3 blowout, and if you watch the game, you understand what I'm saying there. Zamir White seems to have really taken over that starting running back role. Not that Kirby Smart was ever going to let it go to anybody else, which is also a peeve of mine of Kirby Smart. He has his favorites, and you can't shake him from those favorites, even if they are Stetson Bennett. Number 6, Cincinnati. They've got a really good case for being the number 5 team in the country. Because they're undefeated, Georgia's not, and because they have just been rolling over people, like the way that they beat both SMU and Memphis, who I thought were going to be right there for the conference championship at the end, needs to mean something to the College Football Playoff Selection Committee when they do these rankings, especially if Luke Fickell and Cincinnati are still just rolling over people, let alone undefeated. I want Marcus Freeman in a Power 5 job. If it's as a defensive coordinator, fine. If it's as a head coach at a Group of 5 program, fine. I have been stumping for Marcus Freeman to get his due for 3 years. Somebody's going to hear me, and you, along with me, are going to be way out in front talking about how great Marcus Freeman was at Cincinnati. He's not getting enough credit out there. Texas A&M beats Arkansas after all the noise I and other people talked. Texas A&M sitting pretty at number 7, but they're still not going to win the SEC West. It's Alabama's, man. Florida at number 8. Beat the hell out of Missouri and beat the hell out of Missouri, because those of you that saw that late night brawl, like, I saw dudes throwing their hands at helmets, which is the stupidest thing you can do when your profession, everything you do is built on you being able to have the use of your hands. I can't wait to see how the SEC hands out these suspensions. Also, shout out to Dan Mullen, who showed up to his press conference as Vader because, 1, mask season, and 2, because Halloween. Number 9, Brigham Young, 7-0, beat the hell out of Western Kentucky at home. Why were the Hilltoppers even there, man? Why was Tyler Pigrome and them even there? Because Brigham Young is just trying to piece together any kind of season. And all of this is icing for them. They got 7 games in. They are 7-0 before the Pac-12 even throws a punch. And they have to get an invitation as an at-large bid to a New Year's Six, which I don't know that they're going to get. It could be an undefeated Holiday Bowl for Brigham Young. Wisconsin at number 10, 1-0. We'll see if they get to play Purdue later this week. We'll see if they even have enough players to play. Paul Chris can join the team on Thursday. Wisconsin is a dumpster fire right now, man. Miami at number 11. Their only losses to the number 1 team in the country. De'Aaron King, Rhett Lashley seem to have provided for Manny Diaz what he has wanted and what he has needed to quietly do a really good job in that ACC. We'll see how it shakes out for them. Oregon finally gets to play their first college football game of the season as the number 12 team in the country. We'll see what that means for them. Indiana, 2-0. First, you beat up a ranked Penn State, who's probably not going to be ranked at the end of this thing when I get done with it. I haven't looked at the rankings. I'm doing this as I talk with you. But beats what I think is a good Rutgers team, as odd as that is to say. It'll be interesting to see who wins that Rutgers-Maryland game, because Maryland beat Minnesota. Hello? Michael Penix Jr., Tom Allen got something brewing for the Hoosiers. Number 14, Oklahoma State. They dropped from 6 to 14 after losing to Texas in overtime in a game that they probably should have won going away. 4 takeaways, 1 interception, 2 fumbles by Spencer Sanders. He threw for like 340 yards, but it doesn't matter if he's going to continue to be the turnover machine. This is why I've said he can't be my quarterback, because everything he does well, he takes away from you by putting the ball on the floor. It's like college football's Daniel Jones, man. You got to be able to take care of the football, and you should have beaten Texas at home. Instead, they go into Boone Pickens, and they walk out with a win. Number 15, Coastal Carolina blanked Georgia State. We got to start talking about the Chanticleers and old Grayson McCall as somebody who is legit. They run the table in this conference, the Sun Belt, which I think is really, really solid, especially knowing that, Sun Belt went 3-0 against Big 12 teams. We have to consider Coastal Carolina as a New Year's Six team. Think about that. Chanticleers getting it in. Iowa State beats the hell out of Kansas. They're number 17 in the country, 4-2. They got to win against a ranked Oklahoma team, a really good Oklahoma team. That's why they're there. SMU at 6-1. Shane Buechele and them pick up where they left off against Navy. Oklahoma at number 19, up from number 24 with a shellacking of Texas Tech, 62-28. That game was 48-14 at half and 35-7 through the middle of the second quarter. It's wild. Lincoln Riley was touching on this going into the game against Texas Christian. He said, look, this team is really good. I know what we can be. And it looked like we were seeing him actually be a prophet against Texas Tech and Matt Wells. Same Texas Tech team that beat West Virginia, same West Virginia team that beat Kansas State just yesterday. This conference is cannibalizing itself and is a dumpster fire. USC at number 20. People really want USC to be really good. SC gets Arizona State to open this year. I think they get an opportunity to beat what I think should be a ranked Arizona State team. And we'll see how that goes for Herman Edwards and Clay Helton, who has survived the last 3 years when I thought he would have got fired. Boise State at number 21, they're 2-0. Texas back into the rankings at 22 with a win as an unranked team against the number 6 team in the country, even as I thought it was a soft number 6. Michigan falls to 23 from 13 with a loss to Mel Tucker and Michigan State. Mel Tucker is the first year head coach at Michigan State to beat Michigan in the Big House since Nick Saban in 1995. Rocky Lombardi threw for over 300 yards in that game. Joe Milton threw for 300 yards in that game, and they still got the 27-24 win and were able to stop Michigan running the football. Auburn back into the rankings after beating LSU. Why do people keep wanting to rank Auburn? Like, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get Michigan out of here. What are we doing? Why? I don't get it, man. LSU's not good. I don't care how badly they beat them. They lost to South Carolina. The same South Carolina LSU put 52 up on. Get Auburn out of these rankings. And then number 25, Liberty at 6-0. I can't root for Liberty, man. I can't root for Liberty. They haven't played anybody. This is more trash than BYU. Why are we including the... All right, other receiving votes. Northwestern got a good win against Iowa. They got 106 points. Louisiana Lafayette got 101. North Carolina got 92. Penn State got 87. Tulsa got 73. A 34-31 win where I was the honorary captain for the Black Wall Street game in a game that they probably should have lost, but the officiating crew did Tulsa a solid. Army at number 57, or not number 57, 57 points. Kansas State got 51. West Virginia got 44. Utah got 44. Washington got 21. Purdue got 15. Vatech got 11. San Diego State got 8. Arizona State got 7. Appalachia State got 6. Wake Forest got 5. Michigan State got 4. You get 4 points for beating the ranked number 13 Michigan, and yet you want to keep Michigan in the rankings? False cowards. California got 3. All right. We're going to round up the Big 12, the SEC, and probably the American a little later on today on the show. Tune in for that. Check out the Ohio State and Big Ten roundup that I posted earlier today. Deuces.